This is The Professionals, a podcast by music business technology and broadcast media technology students on Outcast OCCR Owens Community College Radio. In this series, students will interview industry professionals in their respective fields to help gather an idea of what it's like to work in their industry.
Matt, thank you for joining us today. We're excited to have you.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Matt, for coming out to talk to us. So let's talk about how you got started in this industry. You grew up in this area. You went to St. Francis de Sales High School. You went to the University of Toledo. Did you always know you wanted to become a broadcaster?
Yeah, for as long as I can remember, I've wanted to be a broadcaster. I've wanted to be behind the mic, describing the play and the action, and letting the fans listen to me calling a game. That's the way I am. If I watch a game, I want to be able to hear it. I want to listen to a game. I listen to games all the time when I'm in the car and driving because that's something I enjoy. I love the broadcasters.
Absolutely. A lot of people love the exact same thing. They love broadcast. I know myself, I'm a big broadcast guy. I like to listen to the Chargers games and like the Tigers games, the Guardian games in the car, I personally believe it's the best way to listen because sometimes I don't want to watch the game. I want to just listen because I feel that words are more describing than visual.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. I think the broadcasters add a lot to sporting events, and that's why I've always wanted to be one.
Absolutely. How did you land your first broadcasting job, and what were those early days like?
Well, they were interesting. I just tried to do as many games as I could wherever I could. And it led me to, doing Bowling Green hockey. It led me to, sitting in the stands with a recorder, taping myself just so I could have some kind of tape to send to people when jobs were open. My first actual broadcasting gig came, I was doing games and working at the college radio station at the University of Toledo, and an opening came up at 94.5, and I was able to jump on that. So that is, that's where I kind of got started. It was weird. I was doing overnight, and then I would go to class. I would be like you guys. I'd just go to class in the morning. After I had done doing an overnight shift, I'd leave radio station at 5 a.m., and I'd have class at 7:30, 8 a.m., and go about my day. But, that's what I did to try to get started and get into doing something. And it was DJing that got it started. And then obviously I ended up getting with the Toledo Storm eventually. And that's kind of led to where I'm at today.
Absolutely. Those sleepless nights sometimes they get you, but it's completely worth it at the end of it all.
No question. I wouldn't change anything.
Absolutely. So Toledo has an extremely strong sports culture here, including with the Walleye, the Mud Hens, you got the Rockets, you got Bowling Green. So it's just a very big melting pot of sports. How did being in this really area shape your career path?
Well, I think when you look at it, there's so many great. You just mentioned, if you're a sports fan in this area, you have so many teams. You've got Detroit 45 minutes away. You could go watch the Tigers. You could watch the Red Wings, Lions, Pistons. You got 2 hours. You're in Cleveland. You could see all of those. 3 hours. You're in Cincinnati. 3 hours. You're in Indianapolis. 3.5, 4 hours. You're in Chicago. 4 hours. You're in Pittsburgh. We have so many great sports cities around us that this area is just a sports area. And I think you grow up around here, you're probably going to know sports pretty well.
Absolutely. I know sometimes people grill me myself for being a Chargers fan. They're like, why aren't you like a Browns fan or a Steelers fan or stuff like that? Hey, I might need to change my decision over the years.
No, we all shape our sports teams in different ways. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely. So, were there any local broadcasters that you looked up to when you were getting into this industry or when you were going to school?
Yeah, there really was. There was one that is kind of a mentor, and he still is to this day, and that's Mike Miller. He's from Temperance, Michigan, grew up in this area, did Toledo Gold Diggers hockey for a while, Kalamazoo. Then he went on to the National Hockey League with the New Jersey Devils, called a couple of Stanley Cups while he was there. Spent well over a decade with the New Jersey Devils in the National Hockey League. He was instrumental in helping to shape me as a hockey broadcaster when I got going in 2003 with the Toledo Storm. And, he and I would meet every week on Mondays. We would go over my weekend tapes and, and try to get better. And I can't thank him enough for all the time and effort that he put in to help make me a better broadcaster. And that really shaped a lot of what my broadcasting is now, was that early part, going through the struggles of, people saying I wasn't very good right at the beginning to, what I needed to do to get better, and getting better and being to where I'm at now is, I certainly owe him a lot.
Absolutely. I think the constructive criticisms, sometimes people think that they're there to just drag you down to the ground and say that you're never going to be able to make it into this industry, but some people take it to heart and actually use it to help teach themselves and become better in their field of work. Like I do it for officiating. Like I officiate college, and every game I'm still learning everything. I'm still learning things every day. So I think, like you said, taking the criticism, sometimes people don't like it, but sometimes people take it and it helps them change the way they look at their career or job.
Yeah, 100%. I think you have to be able to accept criticism and use it to become a strength. And sometimes when you think about it, sometimes the criticism is correct, and you have to deal with, okay, how can I make it better to make that work? And, I've had even as recent as this year where someone reminded me when I'm doing home hockey games, and sometimes you get into that flow because it's television, you assume that everyone's watching. Well, it's not always the case, where I'm so good when I'm on the road and doing a road hockey game like I did last night, where I'm reminding people the time and score. But then sometimes when I'm doing a home hockey game, I can get caught up in, we're on TV. I don't need to give that as often. And I have an analyst who's jumping in during those times where normally I would fill with the time and score. So it was a good note that got across to me. It was a criticism, but it was a proper note. When I went back and listened to the last couple of television games I've done for hockey, I was like, yeah, I really am not mentioning it as much, and I can drop it in like I would on a road game a little bit more. I should do that, and I'll make that change and going forward. So I'm still receptive to criticism, even almost 2,300 games in.
Absolutely. There are a lot of students here at Owens Community College and also at the University of Toledo I know of that are trying to work in sports media, especially sports broadcasting. What is the best way for them to get started in this industry?
I would get as many games as you can. Just continue to get yourself in front of games and do it and getting on calls. So whether that means you're going over to BCSN and you're helping them out, and you get behind the mic. It's a great avenue right now. BCSN does an unbelievable job of promoting local sports in the community, whether it's high school games, baseball games, even younger games, they'll do sometimes. So getting as many reps as you can get, whether it's baseball, softball, football, hockey, doesn't matter. Basketball, it doesn't matter. Just get as many reps as you can, because that'll make you better. There's no other way to be better. So, that's the way to do it.
Absolutely. And I know I've been told that practice makes perfect. And I think you just completely just said that in the most Matt Melzak way you can say it. That wraps it up with our conversation with Matt Melzak. Matt, we really appreciate you taking the time to join us today. Your insight and experience has been really valuable, and we know aspiring broadcasters will take a lot away from this conversation.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you so much for the time.
And absolutely. The next time you can catch Matt Melzak is tomorrow as the Hens play. Who are they playing tomorrow, Matt?
They've got the Round Rock Express starting at 8 o'clock.
Absolutely. That sounds like a fun time. So if you want to listen on that, you can listen to Fox 1230, The Gambler, and Matt will be on there. But you've been listening to OCCR, Owens Community College Radio. Thank you for listening.
This has been the Professionals Podcast by Music Business Technology and Broadcast Media Technology students. Join us next time on Outcast OCCR, Owens Community College Radio.